Yo, what up, y'all? All right, so you guys know, man, I love my PlayStation Portal here. Now, if you guys don't know, then you can watch these videos that I did right up here. I did a whole ton of them. But through this Christmas holiday break, y'all already know, man, I took the time, spent some time with family and all of that. But I've been secretly using the Backbone One that's designed for the PlayStation because so many of you guys out there, man, was like hating on the PlayStation Portal, saying that the Portal is a waste of money and that you guys shouldn't buy it and that you can just get a Backbone One instead. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take y'all up on that challenge, and I'm gonna take a pause on the PlayStation Portal, which y'all already know, man. I love my PlayStation Portal here. Trust me, man, this was hard for me to do because I rock with the Portal heavy, especially since that latest update because it's been running like a champ. But I wanted to talk about in this video here the PlayStation Portal versus the Backbone, and should you guys actually buy a PlayStation Portal in 2024 or just get the Backbone and save yourself $100. So let's talk about it. The first thing that I actually want to talk to you guys about that has to deal with the price, because for a lot of people out there, this is the first barrier that most people out there have to get over to decide which one they can actually afford based on their budget. So the PlayStation Portal is going to run you guys $200, and good luck trying to find one out there right now. And the Backbone One PlayStation Edition here is going to actually run you guys about $100 on Amazon right now, and it's super easy to get your hands on. Like, there's so many of these bad boys that you can get and buy right now. So the first thing you guys need to do and decide on if you guys can actually afford $200. If you can, then you can keep watching this video, but if you can't, then you already know that decision has been made for you, man, and the Backbone One is probably going to be the better option for you at this moment in time. Now, when we talk about price, we got to talk about the design out of both of these. Now, I do want to preference that I do have a cover that's on my PlayStation Portal, which is why my Portal looked the way it looks. But let's go ahead and start off with talking about the design of the Backbone One and just kind of some of the things that I like about it as well as dislike over something like the PlayStation Portal. So for starters, I like that Backbone decided to keep the whole PlayStation white theme to kind of match the aesthetics of, you know, what we're already used to when it comes to the PlayStation console, as well as something like our DualSense controller. Now, the one that I got has the Lightning port on it that's specifically designed for the iPhone, which is, this is my primary phone of choice that I personally like to use, which when connecting it up was super seamless. But two design flaws that I found that is somewhat annoying, and one is you can't use this with the case on, at least that I've found, and I've tried several cases, man, that I have, and neither one of them allowed it. Now, I'm not saying that no cases will work on it, just maybe the ones that I have just does not work with the Backbone. And I tried the official Apple cases as well as like a special case like this one that I personally have on mine is usually my go-to that I have right here. It don't work with the Backbone here. Now, the second flaw and issue that I have when it comes to the Backbone is when you actually remove that case, it don't really feel like that in there. Like, I feel like I can just kind of lift it off of here. Like, it don't feel like secure in there. And I always feel like I got to push this left side down in order for it to actually fit snug in there. And I just kind of feel like it can fall out of here at any moment. But on the more positive side, I actually like how it actually feels in the hands whenever I'm actually using or gaming with it, right? Like, it still feels natural, and I didn't feel like when I was gaming with it that it felt somewhat out of place, which we're going to talk about gameplay here in a second. Also felt like all of the button placements were good on here. One button placement in particular that I like is this button right here, y'all, which is the capture button, to the point where you can capture in-game, and instead of saving it directly to your PlayStation hard drive, it's going to save it right to your iPhone. So if I just go ahead and press it, takes a screenshot, and you can see right here, I can just now save it right to my iPhone, to the point where I don't really need to like hook up a hard drive to offload that onto, then plug that into my computer, then try to airdrop that to my iPhone. I don't have to do any of that. I can just take a screenshot, bam, and now it's automatically saved right to my camera roll. Now, I like this because I can instantly like text this image out there or share it out there on social media or whatever I personally want to do with it right from my phone. It's just way faster and just an easier way, and I just love how they integrated that into the feature of the Backbone here. Now, one thing from a design standpoint that kind of took some time for me to kind of like get the hang of it, and that is the placement of the right joystick here. Now, let me explain what I mean. Now, there is a difference when it comes to native PlayStation products to kind of third-party PlayStation products. Now, if you notice here, when I look at something like the PlayStation Portal, you guys can see right here that the left and right joysticks are symmetrically right across from each other in a straight row. And that makes a big difference. And it's the same way when it comes to our PlayStation controller. It's literally straight across from each other, which makes it a whole lot easier to be able to kind of reach and kind of slide off to, I can just slide my right thumb right off into these buttons here, and I can just boom, and I can get to my buttons, right? But when it comes to the backbone here, if you notice that the right joystick here is just below it, so it's not straight across symmetrically like I'm used to when it comes to native PlayStation handheld devices. So like right now, I'm having kind of like, I gotta have my thumb down here while my other thumb is up here, and it's a whole lot more of a reach to be able to get to these buttons here whenever you guys are gaming. It just makes it, it's a little bit of a challenge that I kind of want to mention. Not a huge deal, but it is something that is a difference that if you guys are looking at picking up a backbone and you're used to kind of native PlayStation devices, then you will have to get used to that when you guys are gaming on the backbone. But other than that, man, from a design perspective, I actually like the backbone, especially from a size perspective. Now, let's go ahead and switch on over to my baby here, man, to my PlayStation Portal. Now, from a design perspective, I freaking love this thing, and there's only two things about it design-wise that I personally dislike. Now, at first, it did take me a little while to get used to playing on a controller that is spaced out like this, but once you guys get around and get the hang of it, it's literally like playing on the normal DualSense controller that you guys are used to playing on. I like how I get all of the same buttons here on the Portal here. It's like my PlayStation button, my sharing button, my options button, and triggers and stuff like that, obviously minus the touchpad. But if I go ahead and just tap on the screen, on both sides, I get the touchpad, so I can either trigger it over here or I can trigger it on the left side as well, which to me is really dope. Now, one dislike, 100%, that I gotta talk about when it comes to the PlayStation Portal, and that is the smaller thumbsticks that we get. Now, I'm not sure why PlayStation just didn't really give us the same size thumbsticks that we get on the DualSense controllers. And the second thing that I dislike has to be that they did not give us removable joystick features like we get on our DualSense Edge Pro controller here. And to me, this would have just been the smart move, because it would have just taken that worry out of people's minds, including my own, when it comes to stick drift on this device. Because if you get stick drift, or like the issue that I had, that I did a whole video series that I have right up here, and if it's outside your warranty, then this is just a $200 unusable gaming device that's just gonna be sitting up on the shelf. But other than those two things, everything, man, on the PlayStation Portal here, I freaking love, man. I love the screen size here, which is a huge advantage over something like a tiny smartphone screen on something like the backbone versus something like the PlayStation Portal. The next thing I want to go ahead and get into that we got to talk about, and that is battery life. How do I feel about battery life when it comes to both of these? Now, to me, I favor the PlayStation Portal on this one for a couple reasons. So let's go ahead and start off with the backbone, and then we're gonna switch over to the PlayStation Portal. Now, since the backbone here has no battery that's built into it, everything when it comes to battery life is dependent on the device and the life of your smartphone. So if you guys have 100% battery life, then based on the health of your battery on your smartphone, that's gonna determine how much battery life you're gonna get out of this device. Now, from my experience, testing using 100% battery life, remote play using your smartphone, the battery life drains super freaking quick. And another thing that I noticed with the backbone is that when you guys are using it, the back of your smartphone gets super freaking hot, almost to the point where like it would almost kind of like deter me from wanting to even use my smartphone as my main gaming device, since it's getting so freaking hot that it could potentially over time actually cause some long-term damage to your smartphone. And when you guys are gaming, playing high intense games, draining your battery life like this will interfere with the main features of your smartphone, like being able to take a phone call or replying to a text or an email. Because when you got 5% left and you out there trying to find a charger, hey, good luck, my guy. But for real, y'all, what I recommend is if you guys do plan on getting a backbone, I would probably have like a secondary smartphone that is strictly for gaming. And we're gonna talk about that here in a second. However, when it comes to the PlayStation Portal, I feel like for what it is, the PlayStation Portal here has great battery life. Now, I've personally been happy with the amount of hours that I'm I'm able to get out of my PlayStation Portal with no hiccups at all. Another thing that I noticed is that the Portal, when you guys are gaming on it, doesn't nearly get as hot as something like my smartphone, because obviously your smartphone is processing when text messages are coming in, phone calls, emails, a bunch of other things that it's doing that it's also need to be able to render, that it's powering using the chip and the battery life on your smartphone. Whereas when it comes to the Portal, it don't really have to do that, because its main focus is strictly just mirroring exactly what's coming out of your PlayStation that I got right up here behind me. And I also like how I can turn off certain settings. Like if I go over here, I can turn off like certain settings in here. Like for example, if I go to controller, I can turn off my vibration intensity. I can turn it off, medium or weak or whatnot. I can pretty much have free range to just a lot of things that I can do on this PlayStation Portal versus what I can do on the backbone when it comes to my smartphone. So to me, when it comes to battery, you will have to decide if you guys want to use a dedicated phone battery or if you guys want to use a device that is specific for just gaming and gaming only. Now, speaking of performance, right, we got to jump into it and let's talk about some gameplay. How has the gameplay been on the backbone versus the PlayStation Portal? Now, you guys know, man, I got to keep it funky on here. I got to be honest and open and real with you guys. Playing COD, Call of Duty, God of War, Ragnarok, Valhalla, all of that, Spider-Man 2K has been running extremely smooth on the backbone. Like literally, playing on the backbone has really been good, and it's surprisingly good at that. Some of the key areas that I feel like the backbone is better than the Portal is because of the screen quality of the iPhone, which is giving you just top tier, just picture. It's magnifique, baby. Like, it just looks so good. Now, another solid thing when it comes to the backbone that I like was the smoother gameplay, because on the iPhone here, you do get a 120 hertz display, which a lot of smartphones out there today is gonna have. Now, I didn't experience any buffering issues whenever I was playing indoors. Now, when I was playing outdoors away from my Wi-Fi, it was still somewhat decent. Now, there was a couple times when I did notice that the connection would somewhat go bad, and then the screen would like get like blurry, a little bit fuzzy. But I think that was actually because of the connection that I had. But to be fair, the PlayStation Portal does this too. But when it happened on both of these, they both came back super clear and fast in seconds, to the point where it is really not that much of an issue, but it's more of like a blip during your gameplay. But it is something that I did want to mention to you guys if you guys have either one of these. Now, gameplay on the Portal is solid as well. I love this thing. Now, in the beginning, I did have some issues that we talked about here on the channel that I walked you guys through with the whole joystick, and I had to get this whole thing replaced. And anytime, man, that I'm gaming using a Portal here, like post that update that they just gave us, like I haven't had any issues as far as gameplay at all, man. Like I feel like the performance on here has definitely gotten better since that last update around. Now, one thing I do want to mention here is on the Portal, you are capped at 60 hertz at a 1080p display, whereas on the iPhone, you getting 2532 by 1170 resolution, which is slightly higher than the Portal. But again, on the phone here, you are also getting 120 hertz refresh rate for that ProMotion display that we get on the iPhone. But just so you guys know, this is just for the iPhone. But let's say you guys were to snag an Asus ROG smartphone, then, you know, that's a whole entirely different conversation. But I'm curious, man, would you guys actually buy a dedicated smartphone just to use it for gaming on it completely? Meaning that you won't use it for nothing else on it, but just using it for gaming. Meaning no phone calls, no texting, no browsing the web, no going on Twitter and Instagram, none of that. Just strictly gaming only. Like, I'm curious. Let me know down in the comment section below so that way, you know, we can kind of talk about it. Now, the next thing I want to go ahead and talk about that I feel is important and I wanted to mention in this video here, and it has to deal with the backbone with the PlayStation Remote app, and that is connectivity. Like, I'm not sure if it's the processor in the iPhone or if it's just optimization with the mobile PlayStation Remote app, and that is how fast, like, the PlayStation Remote app on the iPhone connects to the PS5, whether it's the Slim or the OG PS5. Like, it is super freaking fast, like way faster than the Portal, which to me, I feel like this is a big deal because PlayStation's whole selling point was this was going to connect faster than using the PlayStation Remote Play app. Now, is this a big deal to you? I would basically say this really depends on your patience, because when you're using something like the Portal, it does take a little while for it to connect, and especially if you guys are outside of your network, it's going to take even longer, which again, we were told that this whole thing would actually connect way faster than the PlayStation Remote Play app, which in my testing has not been the case. Now, obviously, speed and time is all relative, but take it from me, y'all. The iPhone, when it comes to connecting to the PlayStation, is way faster than the Portal. And speaking of features, right, let's go ahead and dive into that a little bit more here with both of these, right? Now, when it comes to the Portal here, I feel like this is where it kind of shines the most. There's so many features that I like. Like, for example, like whenever I'm done actually playing a game at night, I can just swipe here from the side, press disconnect, and you can see this little toggle that we get right here to just go ahead and put my PlayStation into rest mode. It's just a way faster way to being able to do that versus having to go through here and, you know, pressing this button and then going down here and then going into the put it into rest mode this way. It's just a way cleaner and faster way of doing it than what you do on something like the Backbone. Another thing that I like is how the controllers still have the same haptic feedback that we get in our DualSense controllers. And to me, y'all, that is a major W. I also like how, you know, we get some of the customization options that are specific to the Portal in itself, like being able to adjust the lights that we have here on our PlayStation Portal, or if you guys want to adjust the haptic feedbacks, stuff like that to me is what separates the Portal to me from using the PlayStation Remote Play app when it comes to using the Backbone. Again, don't get me wrong, man, I'm surprised by how much I actually enjoy playing on the Backbone, but to me, the Portal is definitely the wave when it comes to the features area. You just get a whole lot more bang for your buck. And again, it is $100 difference, so this is something that I would expect. And there's one more thing we got to talk about, y'all, and that is audio. All right, so audio, we got to talk about it. Now, hands down, this is where I feel the PlayStation Remote Play app with the Backbone wins every single time. See, with the Portal here, you don't get the option to be able to use any pair of headphones or to use earbuds that you guys want to natively without some sort of like workaround that I plan to show you guys in an upcoming video. And if it's out, it'll be right up here for you guys to check out. But when it comes to using the Backbone, because I can Bluetooth earbuds right to my iPhone or headphones, I can use any earbuds or headphones that I want, including my AirPods Max that I love, which these bad boys sound amazing for gaming, especially when you're playing games like Call of Duty or Fortnite. You can literally hear enemies all around you. Like, it's so damn good, y'all. Whereas when it comes to the Portal, with it not being able to allow you to Bluetooth to it, you only have one native option right now, and that is the Pulse Explorers, which I did a whole video on. You can check that out right up here that I highly recommend. You guys check that out right after this video. But to me, just being limited to just one pair natively is just not it for me, right? Now, yes, there is a workaround where you can use your existing gaming headphones, or you can either plug in using the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. But when it comes to wirelessly, you only have that one option that you can use outside of your network. But if you're in network, you can check out the video that I'll have down below for you guys to check out how to do that. But as soon as you guys go too far out of range, if you're inside of your network, then, you know, that's going to drop that connection. And then, you know, there's no way to be able to connect up to your Portal, which again is not the wave. So to me, because of Bluetooth connectivity to my smartphone, I have to give the edge when it comes to audio to the Backbone and connection to my iPhone. Overall, y'all, I can't front. I personally misjudged the Backbone, and with me secretly cheating on my PlayStation Portal here and using the Backbone all of this time that I've been, you know, chilling with family and all of that, I gotta say, I'm surprised and impressed with how well the PlayStation Remote Play has handled over time. Like, no lie, man, Remote Play on the PlayStation, since the Portal has opened my eyes up to a better and just possible way of gaming with my console, and has allowed me to just basically be anywhere in the comfort of my home, whether it's my couch, my backyard, my patio, front porch, bedroom, my basement, or just anywhere and just be present, to whereas my wife can watch her favorite movie or show and I can be able to game and doing what I want to do. To me, it's a win-win situation with either one of these that you get. Now, which one do I personally recommend that you buy in 2024? You know, should you get the Portal or should you get the Backbone? I'll answer that like this. If you guys are a person that likes the DualSense controller that I have right here, and you got an extra $200 to spend, then I say, you know, go for the Portal, because you are getting a larger screen, you're getting the haptic feedback, familiar button layouts, PlayStation aesthetics. But let's say you guys are a gamer on a budget and you still want that option to be able to game on the go without breaking the bank. Then in this case, I would say hands down, I would save that money and go with the Backbone. That's still going to give you controls that you need to still stay competitive in your gameplay. But let's say you like C-Kid, I don't have $100 either. What can I do? Then in that case, I would say, man, save your money and get yourself one of these stands like this right here. And I have a link for this stand down in the description section below. And then you can literally just take your phone, put it in here like so, and then you can just Bluetooth your controller right to your iPhone, and just like that, you can launch open Remote Play app and just get it popping that way. And this is only going to cost you $13 since you already have a smartphone as well as a DualSense controller. All you guys got to do is just pick up this stand and you're going to be good to go. But let me know, man, did you guys find this video helpful in making a decision or pleading my case to why I feel like one is actually better than the other for you? If you guys found value in this video, man, if you like the vibe over here, then go ahead and click on that like button as well as subscribe to the channel, because we on our way, man, to that 200,000 subscriber mark, man. And with y'all help, I know we can get there this year. Thanks again for watching. See y'all in the next one, squad. We out.